extending as full as possible. Sometimes you can get punished by that.
Jonah-rah's going in here with the muster for battle. Looks like he's going face with pretty much everything here. He's going to take the Divine Shield off of that. Now, Gozun got his own dog, got a dog of his own trying to win this match here. It's a cute little G.
Yeah, this is really a spot where I'm feeling if I'm Gozun, I'm going to use my Consecration. You get punished by Stegodon, you get punished by Crystal Lion, you get punished even if they just have a couple more dudes into a Quartermaster, and you don't have use. We're able to get a Crystal Lion at the same time.
Whoa, the top deck Call to Arms is coming out here.
No Juggler.
And pulls out some value. No Juggler, though, you're right. That's definitely a change.
Pretty darn solid, though.
You're getting a lot of Divine Shields. You're getting the other second Dry Gulch Jailer, so that's basically a draw 3 that goes into your hand.
It's surprising how strong the Silverhand recruits really are in these Paladin decks.
1/1s aren't bad. They're just not a card that you want to put into your deck. So I think once people sort of realize that Dry Gulch Jailer is fine because it generates that value, you're not so like mad about having a whole handful of 1-mana 1/1s. It's just like if I had to top deck them one after the other, like if I was playing Quest Hunter or something, it would be a miserable deck. But being able just to get them for free.
It's limited to Knife Juggler at this point. And Stegodon, we're going to see if we get some work done here. 4 adapts.
Oh, no, he immediately saw what he wanted. Didn't even have to think about it. Yeah, no, +3, that'll help.
That's a pretty solid one to pick up. Able to just keep chipping through the board.
You have to take out the Steward, right? Because the Steward actually did what it was supposed to do, which was generate a couple more Divine Shields for everything on the board. And it did force a big turnout. What's wrong? Nothing wrong with 9 to the face.
Nothing wrong with a good old completely decimate your opponent's board position. Something else that Gozun could have been thinking about too, like maybe I can get Tarim, use the Equality Knife Juggler, and secure a better board position. But alas, no extra minions.
So now we're going to go with the Equality Knife Juggler turn, except now he doesn't have the second 1/1 to play. He's got a hero power for that other Silverhand recruit. Not looking good for Gozun right here, but we've seen crazier comebacks.
Yeah.
But right now, Jonah-rah is looking like he is on track to take Game 1 in this matchup and go up 1-0.
Yeah, there's 12 damage rep. You don't need that much damage when you've been delivering the minion pressure.
3 1s are good enough. Jonah-rah's going up 1-0 as Paladin defeats Paladin.
Yeah, and the attacker's initiative, I think, played a pretty important role here. The first player to get on board is the one driving that combat. And
absolutely.
So being able to take for Gozun.
Oh, you can see Jonah putting his hand in his face. Oh, no. So, yeah, we're going for Giants here on turn 4. That's 1 Giant, 2 Giants. Clockwork Giant going to stay in hand, costing a whole 1. Now, a good opportunity here. There's only so many of those things you can kill. Right? It's pretty tough math, but I was sitting there doing my accounting. And even with all bigger minions, you're not necessarily going to be able to push through like an insane amount of damage. But he's opting instead to go for silence and the pushing with the 6/6, so he wants to rush the damage through. He's putting Gozun within lethal range. Gozun has to start trading with all this stuff or lose.
Yeah, this is the other thing, too, is if he ends up going just for the 6 damage right away, it puts Gozun to a test where he's got to have stuff to kill this, and he's got to be worried about what's left afterwards. And so, fantastic job killing a lot of stuff, but I'm not quite sure about the underdevelopment of minions here. I mean, if Jonah-rah had just stuck 2
damage, not on this board specifically, but like if there were something like the Void Walkers that come out of a Void Lord or something like that.
Kobold Librarian.
Kobold Librarian, something, right, could pull the damage up. But other's there's no real direct damage in Jonah-rah's deck.
And now that opportunity to actually get combat damage in has pretty much passed, so that he had.
So he's going to Draconoid, try to get something of note.
Nice.
Oh, Void Lord's real good, but it's too little too late. I don't think you can survive long enough to pull that off. So instead he's got to Kobold Librarian and just try to look for some sort of answer here.
Still some fight left. Jonah-rah on this spot.
We got a dragon!
And that is a substantial threat right now. I mean, Gozun has to do something to offset this. And his hand right now does not offset this.
He's got 2 9-cost demons and he's at 8!
Oh my gosh!
He can't do it! He's got the Sacrificial Pact, but he can't. Oh no, I think Gozun's dead in the water. He's got 3 9-cost cards.
A life tap.
A couple unplayable zeros.
Wow.
Nope, can't do it.
Kidding?
He can't even do the Giant and then Shadow Flame after.
He's 1 mana off of any way to touch this Duskbreaker. Jonah-rah played super aggressively early on.
Wow.
And not enough to get there. Jonah-rah, by the skin of his teeth, takes a 2-0 lead. Holy smokes.
By the hair. It turns out that it was the correct play, so good move by Jonah there, because a 2/4 Frothing Berserker would not be able to kill the Steward of Darkshire. Right. So really good for him to see it ahead. But he ended up using his patches and Bloodsail Corsair without the ship's cannon in hand, generating that extra value.
Yeah, it kind of hurts to have to see that, but it just lines up really nicely.
We mentioned earlier that a classic card that almost never saw play until more recently, something like Twisted Nether. Who would have thought 4 years ago, looking at Arcanite Reaper that was like not played in Classic set, would suddenly become a consistent, reliable game ender in the most efficient aggro deck this game has ever seen.
That's a 5-mana 10 damage card. Come on. I love Arcanite Reaper.
Tell that to me back in 2013, because I was not impressed at the time.
The quality's still pulling weight as well. This is a very important turn for Gozun to offset this pressure that's been facing against him, and now it looks like he's going to be the one taking the board pretty handedly here. This is a very different game than the one we saw previously with Jonah-rah versus Dude Paladin, where Sidonia just had a bunch of 1/1s and again faced down the early N'Zoth mate. It's hard to under stress how important that N'Zoth's first mate really is in this matchup.
And it's really unfortunate because
wow.
N'Zoth's first mate would have been the best against
Win immediately, and that means Gozun is free to punish.
No. That is a huge turn for Gozun. Looking like he's going to win this and turn around. I'm not exactly sure, just looking at Jonah's deck, if there's anything that could possibly reset it here. Once you get out that board of 3/3 recruits, you are dunzo. Extra dies and the 2/1 dies, but that's still 15 power worth of 3/2s on the board.
You got to start with that. So your goal is to deal 19 damage from this point. Is there any way to do that? And so it looks like he wants to draw exactly a second damage spell, which to me is 9 + 6 from Leroy.
Okay.
So that
he's got steady shot.
So that would be 15 damage exactly, because he's going to die over the course of 2 turns and possibly just dies immediately.
Wow.
So I think he needs exactly Leroy Jenkins and to fade not dying this turn.
I like that he opted for the Druid over the
Ice
Scoops. Yeah, Lightfuse Stegodon does it. Pack it up.
Yep. Certain that was an attack buff on that one, because you want to wait.
Warrior is good against Giants because it is one of the decks that is putting that pressure on you before you can see Witch.
Yeah, and Frothling's Berserker is pretty much one of your ideal minions. It helps protect you against Defile and Hellfire very well.
Oh, yeah.
Because just, and frankly, I don't know.
And you can trade patches with one of the 1/1s and still retain the damage.
That's the extra damage that brings up to 15 is that buff right there. He's going to even trade in this one to buff up that damage, and
Just
also
trade,
works around the Defile this way. Now there's no 1 health minion on board, so the 2 health Leroy Jenkins can't get swept up either.
And now Hellfire is definitely turned off as an option. Goes in with the face. And that's not very confident in that play because he knows full well that there's like a spell break. He doesn't know it, but like you have that sense of like I can't just go all in on a Void Lord plan because then I lose to Spellbreaker.
No other option though, and that's going to do it as long as Jonah-rah remembers what Silence does. He's going to be moving on, and since he put it in his deck, I can guarantee you he knows exactly what it does.
Battlecry, silence a minion. Got him. Jonah-rah 3-1 over Gozun. He is moving on into the live finals.